Hello guys from London. I know what you're thinking. What you just hear? Yes. So last time I was here I was flying from Heathrow over to Gibraltar. This time round I'm taking one of the sleeper trains. There are two sleeper trains in the UK. There's one to Penzance from Paddington, that's the Great Western Railway Night Riviera. And the second one is the Caledonian Sleeper up to Scotland. Caledonian Sleeper have two services. They've got the Lowlander and the Highlander. The Lowlander goes to Edinburgh and Glasgow and departs later on in the evening. The first train out of the two is the Highlander, and that goes up to Aberdeen, Fort William and Inverness. Tonight I'm going up to Fort William, an epic journey of 12 hours, or just over. Now, Caledonian Sleeper messaged me about a month ago, I think, and they said that due to planned engineering work, the service will not be going up via the west coast, but from London we'll be going straight to Edinburgh via the East Coast Main Line. That helps me because we're not going to be stopping at any stations, and it's just going to be pretty much a smooth ride. So why don't you come along with me and we'll see what it's all about. I have the Caledonian double booked tonight. It's the double room, and those rooms go bloody quickly. I've had my room booked for about a year, and that just goes to show how quick they go. With the double and the club room, you do have access to the first class lounge, which opens at 6 o'clock. The train for the Highlander, that normally departs around about 8:30. However, because of the engineering work, we are departing 10 minutes earlier. And estimated arrival time is about 10 o'clock. So I'll show you guys the lounge, the room, club car, and everything else that the service has to offer. And I'll see you at London Euston. Yep, Euston, London's ugliest station. So I thought I'd get here early because there has been some delays on the underground. But the sleeper lounge, if I just flip this across, is signposted there, but it's not brilliant. So I am going to show you where it is. I know I'm a bit early, but I can still tell you where it is. Yeah, I will show you later on. So it's down here on platform 1. The sleeper service also goes from platform 1. And it is also signposted there as well. So I beat the rush and come down early. Yeah, it's about 4 minutes to 6 now, and I'm starving. Yeah, so I was having a conversation with my uncle a couple of weeks ago because he did this trip from Fort William or somewhere in Scotland down to London. That route is not advisable because trying to get to sleep on Scottish tracks, apologies Scotland, but your tracks are crap. Rough. England tracks are a lot smoother, so it's easier to get some sleep. But I was having a conversation with him, and basically what he said was to go to bed early. Pretty much, I'm not going to say as soon as you get on the sleeper, but try and get as much sleep in as possible before you hit Scotland. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to get some food in the lounge. The lounge does have a similar menu to the club car, but the club car obviously sells more than the lounge. I'll put a link in the description below to Caledonian Sleeper's website alongside the menus, so you can have a little look for yourself. And prices and availability may change because the link is correct at the time of this video, as is all the prices. But I already know what I'm going to go for. I'm going to go for a traditional Scottish favourite, vegans and vegetarians. When I show you it, knock away. So yes, let's go find this lounge. There's also shower facilities available. I haven't decided whether I'm going to go for a shower or not. I was going to go for a shower originally, just to cool off a bit, but I've cooled off now. I'll say the lounge is just down here. Hopefully I'll get a seat. There we go. Guest lounge. Yes, I didn't decide on a shower, so I'm currently in the shower thing. So let's have a little look. There's a shower. Gorgeous head. You do get facilities there. And unfortunately they only give you one towel. So I'm going to have to try and not get as much water on the floors as I can. There are showers in the rooms for club and double, but unfortunately mine has an issue. Not too happy about that, but we'll see. Yeah, so it's about patchy hot water. So I'll cross that bridge when I come to it. For now, you don't need to see the next bit. Yes, I know I look like I've been dragged through the hedge backwards. That shower's alright. Lovely head. And down in the lounge, it's quite busy in here, so I can't really show you much. They do have a small selection of Caledonian Sleeper souvenirs to purchase. Others are on the website, which I'll also link in the description below. But my food's just turned up, and I'm going to turn the camera around so the vegans and vegetarians and anyone with dietary requirements turn away now. Haggis, neeps and tatties. Gorgeous, traditional Scottish food. Now we're talking into this. Well, if that doesn't say a train, I don't know what does. Yes, it's the sleeper. And I've worked my way towards the front of the train with a lovely chap who I found in the lounge. Just walking off our food. But yes, the logo on the Caledonian Sleeper, the antlers, if I zoom in, the antlers depict the locations. So left hand side is the Highlander and the right hand side is the Lowlander. So if I start at the top of the train, we've got the locomotive 92010 following us up to Scotland tonight. And for some reason, we've got a coach B. I can't quite get my head around this one though, because coach B does not actually belong up here. So this is the Inverness coaches. coach M, and that's the coach that the chap in the lounge is in, so it's got a bit of a walk. But yes, Inverness is the first one. They've got a few coaches. And I had another conversation with the guys in the lounge about the room, so I couldn't quite get my head around it to start with, but now I understand it. I'm still in the original room, but because of the water situation, they've given me another room, so I technically have two. But I have a bit of a walk to the second room. The second room is mainly for the purpose of water. They haven't taken my room off me and lumbered me with a club room. That'll be a bit unfair, really. That's the seated coach. Poor buggers. I wouldn't like to sleep in the seated coach. Be very uncomfortable. But it is the cheapest option, so you know, if you're on a budget. Then we get to coach G, which is the Fort William set. So that's mine there. Number 4. My original name, that is. Take note. Because my second room is down here. Can't quite see it, but F1. So I have got a long walk. It's also worth noting that in the morning when the train splits at Edinburgh, the restaurant car might have moved. Okay, for some reason there is no coach C, but coach D and coach B, the proper coach B, which is the start of the Aberdeen coaches. Their restaurant car. And the poor buggers in the seated coach. Then down this end, we have another locomotive. And the number's 92-014. At some point they will get another locomotive from somewhere, because it divides into 3. So I shall see you on the train. Hey guys, so I'm in my double room. I totally messed up the boarding situation when it came to filming and getting on the train. So I'm just going to show you quickly the narrowness of the corridor. There we go. That's so narrow, it's unreal. But yes, G4, and I will give you a little room tour. London is where we are now. These change depending on the rooms. It's literally potluck as to which photo you get. But nice double bed. We've got room controls, so light switch controls the main light. That's a dim switch. USB port, reading light, and temperature controls. I'm actually going to turn it down a bit because I'm a bit hot. 2 bottles of water, which will be coming with me. Storage space. Pretty much the same as that side on this side. Apart from you've got a do not disturb button, which, yeah, we'll have that on. Then over here, we've got more storage, USB ports, host call button, which I'm not going to press. You can get room service, and the window light, which is that one there, and 2 plug sockets. It is worth noting that they don't do USB-C charging, which is really frustrating. Then coming onto the bed, so I literally had to just plonk my stuff down to get my camera out. But yes, you do have storage underneath the bed for, yes, I'm not going to obstruct the area, for your suitcases, and they are quite generous on that. So shove that in there. That's going to go there. The sink, you get a pencil for your breakfast card and a bar of soap. Before I forget it. Then we've got the towel. And let's see if I do have a table. Nope. They've taken the table out. So, yes. But we do get a little bit. Anyways, we've got the onboard menu, which, like I said earlier, is a bit more extensive than the lounge menu. I will put the link to that in the description. Then we've got the breakfast card, which is to be out on the door by the time we come to leave. You can actually, where is it? You can actually specify whether you want it in the club car or room service. I'm going to fill that out after I've done this. Then we've got a box of fudge, little thing there, which I'm going to have a little read of. 2 sleep kits, because bear in mind that this is a double room. But I will be bagging both of these, one for tonight if I need it, and the other one for the Great Western Railway Night Riviera trip that I've got coming up in May. So that'll be out in a few videos' time. Then we've got an amenity kit, which I'm surprised I've actually got a bag, because I honestly thought that they changed it to a box. Oh well, maybe complaining about it. You know, they might have changed it back. But anyways, contents of the bag are your shampoo. This must be conditioner. Nope. Bath and shower gel. And body lotion. Not that I'm going to be using any of those, but it's free, so yeah, I'll have it. Thank you very much. So, that is the bedroom. Then you've got a little do not disturb hanger thing. You've got your coat hangers and ensuite lights, which I can't show you because they've locked it. Oh yeah, because of the what's it. So, luckily for you, You will be getting shown the club room tomorrow morning. I've had a little conversation with the on-board host, and they're going to give me the room for that tomorrow morning so I can have a shower and do my teeth. Not that I want another shower because I've just had one. But if I'm right in saying, no, got no hot water. So, luckily for me, he did say that there is toilets at the end of the coach, so it'll just be a case of utilising that to do my teeth tonight. So what I'll do tomorrow is I'll show you guys the other room that I've got, and I will also put that on the video so you get to choose for yourself which one you want. Now, Caledonian Sleeper also have another two options. They've got the seated coach, which you saw briefly earlier, but you've also got the classic room. Now, the classic room is basically the same as the club room, apart from the fact that you don't get an ensuite. And you also don't get access to the club lounge either. So I've got people going past me. So I will let you know what I think of the bed. I think we are supposed to be departing about 20 past 8. But then they've still got to do the brake test apparently. So I'm half expecting someone knocking on my door. The brakes have failed. No, not going to jinx it. But yes, I'll show you that as well. So you get to the other room, that is. Then you get to obviously decide for yourself which one you want. But I find it quite fitting that they've put a poster of London and I've got the bag of Fort William. But anyway, I'll fill out the breakfast card and I will actually go down the club car and hand it in because I'm going to put a reservation in for the club car. Yeah, I'm going to do that now. So that is the final result of what I'm going to go for. They do have last orders there as well, so make sure that you pay attention to that. So I've gone for 7:30, so I'll get a bit of a lie-in. And I've gone for the breakfast tea and the orange juice. You do get a choice of hot drink and cold drink per person. Then I've also gone for the sausage bap. Because of the table situation, most people utilise the top of the toilet, so as you'll see tomorrow, the toilet lid lifts up to feel the toilet. Then you've got the shower as well. Obviously, move the toilet lid before you use the shower, but you'll see that tomorrow. And most people use that to rest on, but I don't have a lot of space. I don't have a lot of space on the sink, and I don't have the use of a toilet. So, well, I do have the use of a toilet, obviously, at the end, but I don't have the use of the toilet lid for this. Therefore, I've just had to use the edge of the bed, which you can do, you can do with the double if you really want to. But space-wise, if there was two of us in here, it would be a bit of a tight squeeze. Stop it. But yeah, for me, it's not too bad. Hey guys, so I'm just trying to get some sleep. But I've got some noise. Can't hear it now because we're stood stationary somewhere in the middle of nowhere, just north of London, in the Wembley area. But I can't get to sleep because of the noise. So I thought I'd show you the sleep kit. Also with the double bed, because it was all nicely tucked in, which I give Caledonian Sleeper credit for. Sterling and any other ferry operators take note. But yeah, Caledonian Sleeper do like to make the bed up properly. And because of this board, I've had to have a wrestle with the duvet. So basically, I've had to mush the duvet down to the bottom, so I don't feel like I'm suffocating. But it is quite warm in here, even though I've dropped it down to cold. So we'll see what that's gonna play out like. But the sleep kit is like this. So I was getting leg crab. So you get earplugs and an eye mask, tartan eye mask as well, Scottish and all that. But the earplugs I'm going to rip open and hopefully I can hear my alarm in the morning. Yeah, I would like to get some sleep tonight. But it depends on how hot it is. Anyway, I'll try and get some sleep and I'll let you know what I think of the bed in the morning. Good night. Good morning, Scotland. Yes, good morning, guys, from Scotland. So, it's about 5 o'clock. We've not long have left Edinburgh. And how do I know that? Well, I felt it. So, I think there was a bit of reshuffling on the carriages, and because I felt the locomotive join to our set going up to Fort William. Like I said earlier, it does split at Edinburgh. Or should I say, it did split in Edinburgh. Last night I got more sleep than what I thought I would have done, because I have heard some comments about the sleeper being very rough and not being able to get much sleep on it, but I didn't do too bad. I got up about 10 past midnight to go to the toilet, bearing in mind that mine doesn't work, so I had to get up and try and not wake myself up too much. That didn't really go down too well. So got up then and we were at Doncaster, so I slept pretty much solid since then. But when I was at Doncaster, I did feel a bit queasy. I don't normally suffer from travel sickness, so therefore if you do suffer from travel sickness, then reconsider doing this trip, because you might feel bad. Now I know why they give you 2 bottles of water. But no, I'm alright now. I think it was more the fact that I was laid down and I wasn't used to it, and I'm alright on trains normally. I have to, because I have to rely on them for work. But yeah, I think it's just the fact that I was laid down on one. Started thinking about throwing myself into the deep end with Cornwall, not knowing how a sleeper's train was going to feel, but I don't know. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to wake myself up a bit, find out what time the club car opens, and then I'm going to go and get my room key for the other room, saying that I want a shower. I don't want a shower, but I do want to show you what it's like in there. So yeah, I can't see the opening just yet, because we are the later train. Well, I say later train, I mean later arrival. And I can also find out what's where. Oh, one thing I forgot to mention, the bed was very comfortable. So you get 2 pillows, and it was really nice. I think if I was in the club room, so had I not been in this room, had I been in the club room, then I don't think I would have gotten as much sleep as I would have done if I was in here. Reason being, I don't like single beds. And also it's worth noting that with that bed you can't take the ladders off, so you are pretty much stuck with ladders in the middle of the bunk. You'll see when you see it. Until then, I'll see you later. Well, there is meant to be internet, but can I as hell get it to work? Apologies for the framing. I haven't figured out how to change that yet, but this is the club room. So as you can see, I've got that framing. It's bunk beds, sink, and your free stuff on the top, but obviously I'm just using it for shower room purposes. So this is the bathroom. There is a step going in. There's towels. Shower. Not a lot of space. Toilet lid and toilet. Just pulled into a stop in Scotland. God knows where. My challenge is to not get the keys mixed up. So that'll go in my trouser pocket. Let's go back to the room. The proper room, that is. Upstairs. And home sweet home. Hey guys, so I've come back to my original room. Couldn't really show you the club car unfortunately. The space in the club car is limited and the service is really busy. So just to tell you how busy it was, I had to share a table with someone else. And because of that, I didn't really want to be filming. So what I did was I left as soon as I'd finished, and I came back to the other room to do my teeth and whatnot before coming back here so I can pack and get myself sorted, because I basically just chucked everything into a bag before I left the house, so I need to try and get myself organised a bit. So what did you guys think of that? You lucky buggers. But to find out the difference between the double room and the club room. And let me know in the comments below if you would do the trip and what room you would possibly go for. Personally, I don't think I would do this trip again. I knew when I booked it that it would be a one-off, and that's got nothing to do with the fact that I have no toilet in this room. Um, but it's more to do with the fact that I'm not really one for Scotland. I spend more time in London than I do up in Scottish Highlands. I will, however, be coming back to Scotland. I know that already, due to the weather forecast over the next few days. So I do plan on going back to Scotland. I'm not going to tell you for what. You'll have to find out yourselves. And the only way that you're going to do that is by subscribing to the channel. So what you're waiting for? Hit the subscribe button and ring that bell. Until then, I'll see you next time. Bye for now.